Hello there. My name is Mike, and at 41, I walked away from the 9 to 5 grind. No more bosses, no more commute, just freedom. I'm currently 48, so I've been retired for almost 7 years, and it's fantastic. I love having time to pursue hobbies and read books and generally just getting healthy. But most importantly, I'm able to be a husband and dad who's present every day. A little bit about me. I graduated in 99 with an information technology degree and a bachelor's of business administration. I worked for nearly 20 years in IT and decided to hang it up in March of 2018. The most I ever earned in a year was 75,000, which was in 2007. After then, it went down to about 57,000, and by 2018, I was back up to almost 75,000. So I never quite did make it to a six-figure income. It was a goal I had, but I never reached. But that's okay. I sought out early retirement because for me, the work wasn't fulfilling, and I wanted to spend the remainder of my days the way I wanted to, and I wanted as many of those days as possible. Toward the end of my career, I found myself working 6 to 7 days a week. I was working all hours of the day and night, and frankly, it was taking a huge toll on my health and consequently my life. It simply wasn't what I pictured my life being, and I couldn't imagine it continuing like that. Thankfully, I was prepared to pull the pin and say so long to the corporate world. I made lots of mistakes along the way, and we'll get into those and the lessons learned from them. In my 20s, we didn't have any significant savings. We had a lot of things, the beginnings of a meager 401k, but no savings. One day, some friends wanted to go into real estate together, and after doing some math, I figured out that the worst case scenario, the cost of that venture would cost us about $1,000 a month if there was no tenants. That was a non starter for us. For a Dink household, dual income, no kids, we should have been able to do that, but we couldn't. Too many lousy habits. That was an eye opener for me. How was it that others who had similar jobs with similar pay could invest $1,000 a month into something that we could not? That got my attention fast, and the journey to get my financial house in order began. So, why start a channel like this? The motivation behind creating Retired at 41 mainly is to document our story for our kids. Currently, they're ages 11 and 6, and they aren't going to be asking retirement questions anytime soon. So I'll just try to preemptively answer them here. Hopefully, when they do have questions, I can just answer them. But if I'm not around or not able to, my hope is that the learnings documented here can be of some help to them. I'm planning on being around a while, but even if I live to be over 100, I have a feeling that the YouTube will still be around long after I'm gone. And for posterity reasons, that's really cool. If 20 plus years from now, each of these videos have only 2 views, one from each of our kids, it will have been 100% worth doing. And also, another reason, what if the information that we talk about here could inspire others? Retiring early is definitely possible for those that have that as a goal. It's doable, and you don't need an inheritance or a lottery winning or to win a lottery to do it. However, if your goal is to work until you're 70 or beyond, not much of this will be of any interest to you. Maybe one day someone will create a work until you're dead channel, although I'm not sure who's going to want to watch that. I'd like to show that there is indeed life after retirement by someone who has done it. A lot of great resources out there, but very few of them really help propel me into retiring early. We'll talk about those. I find it much more effective to learn something from someone who's already done it. And just a warning, I don't have a PhD in YouTubeology. The production value will consist of me pressing 2 buttons: record and upload. But hopefully the content will be more than make up for the lack of polish. So what are we going to cover? Themes and topics include saving, investing, and planning for early retirement, obviously. Specifically, savings rate, compound interest. Not everybody knows about these things, and they should. Things like hobbies and finding purpose. For example, you got to know that you are not your job. Your tombstone probably isn't going to list your 9 to 5 job history. You are so much more than that. maybe some lessons learned, mistakes and advice for those along the same journey. I've got plenty of mistakes to talk about, plenty of those in the hopper, and maybe some insights, real life moments, like the story of how I actually resigned and things I might have done differently now looking back on it. So I just like to encourage anyone who sees this to know that early retirement is possible. Some of you are just starting out in life. That is great. If I only knew at your age what I know now, some of you have already started your careers and hopefully planning your retirement journey. That's great too. Keep going. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. And no, it's not a train headed your way. This isn't just about money, it's about freedom and living life on your terms. If I can do it, seriously, you can too. First step isn't just believing that it's possible, it's knowing it. After 20 years in corporate life, I was pretty miserable. Toward the end of my career, I realized I was spending the best hours of my week working in an environment that talked about work-life balance, but in practice, not so much. Family time dwindled, as did my health and fitness. Looking back, I should have retired sooner. But I had a case of one more year syndrome. Coming out of school, had I known then what I've learned and know now, again, I could have retired much sooner, maybe even a decade earlier. So if any of this sounds interesting to you, please consider supporting the channel with a like and subscribe. Also, please comment below about what early retirement or financial freedom means to you and how you're going about it. What's your situation? How you doing? My hope is that we can learn from each other, learn what works and what doesn't. So thank you for your time today. I appreciate it. Next time, I'll be sharing the best advice I've ever gotten on early retirement. You won't want to miss it. Okay? So talk to you soon. And as I say to my kids, do your best, forget the rest. Peace.